in itself, it was part of that triple header, so it was an intense period, and that
Halo
was
semuanya.
that he would struggle through that. San Juan also came on fairly quickly just a couple of weeks after Portimao. He's had a longer rest period. He's also had a surgery since the last round.
Yeah, he was in Barcelona just after Argentina for surgery, and looks like his hand's fully repaired now, and that was one of the big issues in Argentina. Obviously, he's had the shoulder injury all the way through.
Kita nonton samaan ini, kita lanjut ini.
But Bautista, in the course of the longer races in particular, able to use that X tyre, the super soft tyre, and able to eke out a bit more performance from it. But Haslam certainly wants to finish off the season with something to smile about.
Halo semuanya, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Apa kabarnya semuanya? Sekarang kita lagi di kantor. Tadi pagi cuma sebentar bisa ke sirkuit, sekarang balik kantor lagi untuk pekerjaan utama kita ya. Jadi kita hanya bisa nonton lewat channel resmi dari Wsbk ya. Jadi teman-teman yang mau nonton Wsbk yang tidak bisa datang ke Lombok bisa lewat channel resmi dari Wsbk ya, situs resmi dari Wsbk ya. Jadi teman-teman nggak usah khawatir, nggak usah berkecil hati, bisa lewat handphone atau smartphone atau apa ya. Jadi nggak perlu bersedih dan bisa ke Lombok ya. Kita aja ini yang di Lombok nggak bisa nonton ke sirkuit Mandalika karena kita ada kerjaan lain. Ya kita nonton lewat channel resmi dari Wsbk ya, dari Wsbk. Kembali lagi kami sampaikan banyak terima kasih kepada teman-teman semua karena sudah mampir di channel kami. Terima kasih banyak sudah mensupport channel ini. Jangan lupa like dan subscribe channelnya biar channel ini tentunya bisa berkembang dan bermanfaat bagi kawan-kawan semua, teman-teman semua dari Sabang sampai Merauke ya. Jadi sekali lagi kami sampaikan kepada teman-teman semua, teman-teman yang tidak bisa nonton di atau tidak bisa datang ke sirkuit Mandalika di Lombok bisa menonton lewat channel resmi dari Wsbk ya. Jadi teman-teman bisa. Sudah, ini kita kebetulan nonton yang ya free practice-nya ya. Jadi untuk lebih jelasnya teman-teman buka langsung aja kanal YouTube dari Wsbk ya. Nanti teman-teman bisa langsung lihat seperti ini. Kita juga nontonnya lewat ini nih.
One of the riders with most appearances in World SBK without ever snagging a podium finish. And I think
jadi ini sudah mulai, teman-teman bisa buka kanal YouTube dari Wsbk ya. Bro, apa nama kanal YouTube-nya? Wsbk kan? Oh, Wsbk. Sini kasih tahu nih, kasih tahu netizen teman-teman nanya ini soal ini. Tapi dulu cari dulu. Ambilin dulu, cari dulu bro. Seperti yang kampit Mandalika ini karena sesuatu dan lain hal bisa buka channel resmi dari Wsbk ya untuk menonton live free practice pertamanya. Tadi sudah selesai free practice pertama, sekarang free practice yang kedua sebentar lagi. Mulainya nanti jam 14.00 waktu Lombok ya teman-teman semua untuk free practice yang kedua untuk Wsbk. Jadi yang free practice yang pertama kita tidak sempat nonton karena kerjaan. Jadi kita nonton yang resminya saja. Bang, di tipe lokal ada nggak? Wiga Septian udah mulai belum free practice 2-nya? Sebentar, jam 14.00 waktu Lombok ya, jam 2 kalau mungkin beda ya. Kalau waktu Lomboknya jam 14.00. Rizal Akbar, Bang di tipe lokal ada nggak? Kalau TV lokal di MNC Sport ya untuk live-nya. Jadi ini teman-teman yang mau buka linknya Wsbk
based on
lewat
what we've
sini
seen in
ya.
free practice one so far, Toprak's looking pretty at ease. Another fastest lapman there. He's chipped away
Nah, lewat
a couple of
sini
tenths a
kalau
second on
pengen
the last couple of
linknya
laps.
untuk
So
nonton
for Toprak, he's
live-nya.
looking pretty comfortable right now.
Saw him in the airport on the way through the international journey.
Mandalika MotoGP, ngapain weh? Nggak bisa nonton ke sirkuit Mandalika bang, karena ada sesuatu dan hal. Ya, di Football Lovers ya bang, di channel YouTube-nya Wsbk dibuka. Di sana ada live-nya langsung ya. Ini kita Abang Arifin nontonnya, kita buka channel resmi dari Wsbk ya. Ini teman-teman kalau mau buka lewat sini ya. Ini kita nonton yang siaran ulang untuk free practice pertamanya tadi. Yang free practice pertama kita tidak sempat nonton karena kerjaan, jadi kita nonton yang siaran ulangnya. Untuk free practice yang kedua nanti jam 12.00 ya teman-teman.
And Yamaha are going to feel pretty comfortable that he's the rider that they have in their corner.
Make no mistake, Jonathan Rea is going to give it everything this weekend to try and maintain that title.
Jadi kembali lagi kami informasikan kepada teman-teman semua bahwa tidak usah berkecil hati, tidak bisa nonton sirkuit Mandalika di Kota Lombok ya. Sekarang sudah teman-teman bisa buka live streamingnya lewat situs resmi dari Wsbk ya. Tinggal duduk manis di rumah sambil makan jajan, sambil ngopi, teman-teman bisa nonton. Jadi kembali lagi kita informasikan bahwa sekarang sedang berlangsung live race atau free practice untuk Wsbk ya di sirkuit Mandalika di Kota Lombok, sirkuit kebanggaan Indonesia, kita semua tentunya.
They want to just make sure that they tick all their boxes this weekend, and that's where the experience that they have of working together for so long, because that whole team has been together for 7 years, it does make it where it really is a case of it breeds that confidence that you're going to be able to maintain that form.
Has maintained his form throughout this 2021 campaign, and
ini free practice pertama Toprak yang nomor 1, yang nomor 2 Rinaldi, yang ketiga Jonathan Rea, sampai 20 rider yang ikut ambil bagian dalam event Wsbk di sirkuit Mandalika di Kota Lombok.
The winningest rider, to coin the American phrase of 2021, has been the championship leader.
Yeah, Toprak's been the top rider all the way through this season.
Jadi sekali lagi kalau teman-teman mau nonton live streamingnya bisa lewat ini ya. Jadi kita sudah catatin teman-teman yang tidak sempat nonton ke Lombok, yang tidak sempat datang ke Lombok, bisa lewat live streaming di rumah sambil ngopi, sambil merokok bagian merokok.
Just made his way back into the pits. We've got Jonathan Rea and Alex Lowe still in their pit boxes. Garrett Gerloff, likewise the majority of the top 10, in fact, with Haslam Sykes and Locatelli all in their pit boxes as well. As far as the leaders are concerned, the only two out on the circuit at the moment, number 45 Scott Renning currently sits in 7th position, and this man Axel Bassani, who's top independent in free practice one, top independent yet again. Bassani 137.696.
Ini maaf teman-teman nggak bisa kita tayangin langsung ya, karena ini ada hak siarnya. Nanti channel YouTube kita di ban up. Jadi kalau teman-teman nonton bisa buka live streaming langsung ya di channel resmi dari Wsbk.
Session, 137.186.
Yeah, what's interesting again though is he loses 0.4 seconds Toprak in that final sector, and in that final sector no one's gotten closer than 0.4 to Toprak, so that is where the Yamaha's working really well at this stage. Obviously you expect to see that change as the weekend progresses, but it is no surprise that in a section.
Jadi kembali lagi kami informasikan kepada teman-teman semua, sekarang Indonesia sudah membuktikan ya bahwa Indonesia itu bisa menyelenggarakan event internasional yang sangat luar biasa. Jadi Indonesia bisa, Lombok bisa ya, dia semua bisa. Jadi ini harus kita bangga bahwa kita bisa.
Ducati problem in that last sector. It's more about Toprak and the way he works with his Yamaha.
Yeah, everyone's going to have a bit of a top rack problem in that
Jadi
final sector.
kami
He's even
informasikan
Olympic
kepada
is
teman-teman
of
semua
the pits.
bahwa
He's already
hari
got
ini
11 laps under his
ada
belt,
free
and
practice
that's good
dari
to see as well, considering the injuries that
event
he's had over
Wsbk
the
ya,
course of the last
sama
few rounds. And
lanjutan dari
hopefully for him, it
Asia
is a
Terlengkap
case of being
2021.
back on form and back
Jadi
to
inilah
closer to full
lokasinya di
fitness and being
sirkuit
able to
Mandalika
ride
di
a
Kota Lombok, sangat
little
luar
bit more
biasa.
uninhibited than he had
Ini
been in recent
seperti
rounds.
mimpi di
Several
siang
riders
bolong.
are waiting a fair while before coming
Tidak
out
pernah
onto the track
menyangka
for their
Lombok
second
bisa
stint. Jonathan Ray
menggelar
among them.
event yang luar
You
biasa
suggest
ini.
that
Indonesia tentunya bisa
riders
menggelar
might
event yang
perhaps have been
sangat luar
expected
biasa,
to
event
really put in as
nasional,
many laps as possible
yang
as far as
tentunya
track familiarization is
kita akan
concerned.
Well, I think that's
sangat
why we saw
bangga.
some longer
Tentunya
stints
saya
at the start
pribadi
of the
sangat
session.
bangga
Riders going out
seperti
doing 8 or
mimpi
9 laps and
event seperti ini berkelas internasional
changes to the bikes and
bisa
then going
kita
out for these final 12 minutes.
selenggarakan
And
di
you'd expect to see
Lombok
everyone
di
stay out all
Indonesia
the
ya
way through until
tentunya.
the end of the session.
Yes, KRT leaving it late to return to the circuit as we've been saying, but a couple of other riders also out onto track.
Jadi kembali lagi kami sampaikan, kami ucapkan banyak terima kasih kepada teman-teman semua. Semoga semua kami sudah mengikuti channel kami atas supportnya selama ini. Terima kasih banyak. Jangan lupa like, subscribe ya. Bahkan di share agar channel ini bisa berkembang. Dan tentunya bisa menjadi channel yang informatif dan bermanfaat bagi kita semua. Sekali lagi terima kasih orang Lombok bilang matur tampiasi untuk support kalian semua ya.
4, 5, 6, it really is opening up all the way through until we get to turn 10 at the end of the back straight.
Scott Redding's just gone across the line for a new personal best, 1 minute 37.504 for Redding. So the standings now with just over 10 minutes remaining. Razgatlioglu 9/10 clear and now the second fastest. Bassani third fastest. Jonathan Ray fourth and Scott Redding fifth. A fair number of Ducatis up towards the front of the field.
Yeah, and certainly that's what Scott Redding's going to expect to see through the course of this
Untuk
weekend.
cuaca di sirkuit Mandalika di Kota Lombok adalah informasi dari temannya di sana tadi, lumayan cerah, tapi semoga tidak hujan ya biar eventnya berjalan lancar. Tapi kita di Mataram ini sangat mendung. Tadi dari jam 10 sampai jam 1 hujannya lebat sekali. Alhamdulillah di Kota Lombok katanya sudah pawangnya dari segala penjuru, dari kiri kanan, dari barat karena pawang hujannya. Jadinya alhamdulillah di Kota Mandalika aman tanpa hujan untuk selama live race-nya atau free practice ini. Luar biasa. Kita memang orang Indonesia sangat luar biasa, punya pawang hujan yang bisa menyedot hujan.
Track temperature indicator start to break because if it's going to happen, it's going to be this weekend. It's scorching. It's uncomfortable right from the moment you wake up. It's already the temperature right up.
Untuk kami informasikan kepada teman-teman semua, memang di Lombok ini luar biasa. Kemarin sebelum event itu hujannya, memang sekarang di ya rata-rata curah hujan memang di seluruh Indonesia sama ya. Dari curah hujan yang tinggi memang termasuk di Lombok ini hujan terus, tapi untuk free practice dan insya Allah sampai tanggal 21 insya Allah di sirkuit Mandalika tidak akan hujan, karena yang seperti saya bilang tadi, kita punya pawang hujan dari segala penjuru, dari kiri kanan, barat, belah, pokoknya lengkap dah pokoknya. Jadi insya Allah di sirkuit Mandalika untuk free practice-nya sekarang, untuk live race-nya besok, insya Allah akan aman dari hujan. Ayo semangat, yang tidak sempat datang ke Lombok, yang tidak sempat berkunjung ke Lombok untuk nonton live race Wsbk, tidak perlu khawatir, langsung aja hubungi atau buka kanal YouTube dari Wsbk ya. Jadi bisa nonton di rumah sambil minum kopi, sambil bercengkrama sama istri, sama anak kan. Jadi saya tidak bercengkrama sama istri, bercengkrama sama teman saya yang di sebelah itu, tapi tidak berani kelihatan.
This weekend looks as though Toprak's preparing himself now to go back out there. It does also mean that it's going to be physical exertion over the course of the weekend. It's a busy schedule in World Wsbk.
Yeah, really busy schedule and
ini sudah hampir 900 yang nonton ini.
the start of the lap. That's physical to train.
Sekali lagi ya teman-teman, jangan lupa like dan subscribe ya channelnya biar channel bisa berkembang karena keterangan dari channel ini banyak yang nonton tapi lupa mensubscribe, bukan nggak mau subscribe ya, lupa mensubscribe. Jadi silakan jangan lupa lagi, silakan subscribe channelnya biar kami lebih semangat memberikan informasi yang terbaik bagi teman-teman semua.
Well, the ones who will struggle with it the most inevitably will be the riders who've been out injured, the riders still recovering from injury. I know Charles Davies was...
Ini Pak, sebentar dulu, pinjam sini dulu sini. Ini ada yang mau kenalan tadi, siapa namanya pakai masker itu, kayaknya Satanda katanya ini.
Struggling for race fitness as much as anything, having been off the bike clearly through that injury.
Sebenarnya sedih ini, sedih sekali nggak bisa ke sirkuit Mandalika. Ya, tapi memang dibilang apa, memang ini sudah kita ada kerjaan, ada tugas yang lebih utama.
That is one of the areas where
Kami informasikan
some riders in the
bahwa
past had a big
sirkuit
advantage over
Mandalika
others.
sekarang
Now
sedang
pretty much
berlangsung.
everyone on the grid is
Jam 2 ini sudah jam 2
that
Kolombo ya.
advantage that you might have
Bentar
had,
lagi akan
it does get
dimulai
minimized quite a bit, but
free
if
practice
you just have
yang
that
kedua
small
untuk
1% advantage, it can make
Jadi
a difference over
jangan
the course
lupa
of
yang
3
bisa
races in the
bersupport
weekend.
ke sirkuit Mandalika bisa lewat channel resmi dari Wsbk ya.
Yeah,
Buat saya
tend to see with all these riders when you
teman-teman
look at
bisa
their
nonton
social
sambil
media,
ngopi,
it's
sambil
always in the
ngerokok,
middle of
sambil
race weekends.
ngomong sama
There are
teman-teman
the
ya.
gap between race weekends. They're training hard. They're all out cycling or hiking or running or one thing after the other. And I think here in Indonesia, we've seen quite a few of them out swimming as well.
Or just before race weekends, if you're Scott ready.
Yeah, and obviously for Scott, that gap between Iraq and Portamina, cycling between the two tracks, it was an interesting way to get himself ready. But it worked. He had a great weekend in Portamina.
Yes, anyone who'd been criticising him prior to that weekend for the decision to exert himself between two rounds quickly had to eat humble pie after a brace of second positions over the course of that weekend. 5 minutes to go, so we're into the final stretch now as far as hot laps are concerned. Top rack Raz Gabrioglu just getting up and running with his latest flying lap. 1 minute 36.260 at the moment is top rack's time. That's the one to beat. Second fastest is with Alex Lowe's. The gap now has been cut to less than 4 tenths of a second between top rack and the rest. So the latest is the Kawasaki then going well. Johnson Vivianes up in third position with a 137 flat, and then Axel Bassani, Michael Rinaldi, Scott Redding and Jonathan Ray.
Asia Talent Cup 2021
last couple of laps as we've seen a lot of riders make that step to the final sector as well. Those will
Asia Talent Cup
10 to the second
sendiri
store
sama
top rack in
Wsbk
that
ya.
final sector. Now, Isaac Vinales very impressive on his lap as well to move within a second of top rack's times.
Top rack
Jadi
3
sampai di
tenths
sini
of a
dulu
second
informasinya
faster
untuk
than he's been
teman-teman
before
semua.
through that
Semua
first
semoga
sector. It
bermanfaat
is
ya.
blinding his pace.
Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum. Selamat sore.
You'd imagine he's out there on a fresh, soft tyre at that rear, and he's just trying to use it now to get a little bit of knowledge about what to expect when you put in that fresh rubber on the